And then here we go. We're gonna play the soundtrack. And all right, here we go. It rolls for about 40 seconds. It's starting now. I mean, we're saying hello. Welcome to the Difference Is You show. We got Dave No. He owns his own marketing company. I used to have a marketing company until I ran it into the ground. So we're gonna talk about whatever on the show today. The soundtrack, this little intro that you hear right now for the audience. My buddy Ryan made it, and he has autism too. I just found out I have autism, so we can talk about whatever, man. I'm just happy to be getting out there and meeting people. So, all right. So the soundtrack is over, and if you couldn't hear us over the audio, this is Dave here, and we met on Asian Hustle Network, right?
Yep.
All right. So big shout out to Brian and Maggie from Asian Hustle Network for just putting people from diverse backgrounds together and just making magic happen. And so the interesting thing is that Dave shared with me that he is the owner of a marketing company, and I shared with him that I ran my marketing company into the ground. So we have our own experiences with marketing. And I don't know if well, Dave, tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Maybe you identify with something else. I just called you the owner of a maybe you're a rock climber. I don't know, man. Just tell us. I want to make this show about you. Whatever you want to talk about. However you want to introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm actually a co-owner of a marketing company.
Okay.
And prior to this, I've owned businesses, and I run multiple businesses for at least 10 years now.
Okay.
So I have a lot of experience and a lot of know-hows. And all my businesses, I've been bootstrapping. So I run without getting any investors or whatsoever.
Nice.
Just
All right.
straight, build from the ground up.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say I'm a jack of all trades. I mean, I have different businesses in all different sectors, but
Great. Okay.
it always was marketing. That's my thing. I love marketing. I
hate
love
marketing.
how to get. You hate marketing, but you ran it to the ground. But you told me that you love it. I mean, you had like a big revenue or something like that, and you just ran.
I'm really good at it, but I hate it. It's just one of those things, you know.
What does that mean?
I mean, I guess it would be like a football player makes it to the NFL and just is like, fuck, who's that guy? He smoked weed and like he said, fuck this shit. Something Williams or goddamn, he was from Florida or Texas. He's a Texas running back.
Okay.
And damn, anyways, he was like University of Texas Longhorn. Man, anyways, this was like 10, 15 years ago. He made it to the NFL, and then Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
He was like, I just want to smoke weed, fuck this shit. And then I'm like, I feel you, brother. I know exactly how you feel.
I think the key thing is just find your passion. I mean, I think for him, I think he went all the way to creating a cannabis business. I think it's called Real Wellness. I think that's what he created, and so he follows passion. So that's good.
So you're familiar with his story.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, I listen to everything. I mean, I just go in and I just listen to random people, and I listen to everything, news, whatever.
Yeah. But anyways, man, I had cut you off, dude. I'm actually really curious to hear more about, you all you had shared over text and DM was that you're a marketing company owner, but obviously you got all this other stuff going on. What was your background? What even led you to this marketing?
Yeah, interesting. So I went to Cal Berkeley, went there, basically got like a science degree, a bio degree. I was like in pre-med. I was going towards that route. Eventually, didn't seem like it was my thing. So I eventually worked in the high-tech industry. I worked for Facebook, worked for Cisco, worked for Google. And Facebook was at a time where they didn't have one building. It was all scattered buildings in Palo Alto.
Mm-hmm. Man, you kind of froze there. Can you still hear me?
Google, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, no, you're good now. You're good. Yeah, I see you now. Okay.
Okay. Which part did I stop?
Right after Facebook is scattered, and then I didn't hear you. Yeah.
No, scattered, and eventually work at Google before there were bicycles there. Have you
Okay.
been to the Google campus before?
No, I know a couple people that have worked there, but other than that, I don't know anything.
It's to me, it's almost like a college campus,
Hmm.
but yeah, I was there when they had GoPeds. So whoever has worked there at Google when they had GoPeds, that was like the beginning, or not the beginning, but it was the early years of Google.
Man, you
Um,
got a stacked resume, brother. It's not easy to get hired at these companies.
yeah, well, I mean, it's just yeah, but I was really into it. That's why I jumped around so much.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like part time, I started working at a hotel bar nearby, and then I enjoyed it. And then all of a sudden, my cousin's friends needed me help to bartend for the wedding, and boom, I created an event bartending business, and,
Wow.
and I still have it. And I created a bartending school, and it's amazing. I enjoy it every single time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You-
I'm
you
just taking notes, man, because I'm not I tend to cut people off, so I like to take notes now. I kind of change my strategy. So
No
if,
problem. Do you
yeah,
know? You probably have to take a lot of notes because I'm gonna move. I'm gonna make you jump around,
sure,
move left and left, right?
sure. I like the challenge. Well,
Are,
well,
are you
damn.
shirtless, by the way?
There's a funny story. I've been shirtless for every single podcast show except for this one. I actually, this wasn't on purpose, but after I discovered it, it was awesome. It was like only because I don't know if we experienced the same. What probably you're only in OC, right? I'm in Monterey, LA, and like
No,
today.
I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh, you're in the Bay Area. That's right. Okay. So, well, I don't know if, how's the weather up there recently.
Cold, chilly.
Okay.
Yes, just
And
like
it literally just got chilly for me, like today.
yeah.
So today was the first time I put on even a shirt. It's actually like just like a zipped up sweater, but it's green. So it like my
Oh,
green screen is green too. So it like I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But normally, and it's like so like the first well, first of all, maybe I should just kind of explain to you my. I don't even know if you know what the podcast is about. I may have told you. It's just like I just found out I have autism, like mild case, like a couple weeks ago, and I'm 37 years old, and so a lot of my life has started to make sense. But that gave me the catalyst to start the podcast because um, I don't. It seems like you've jumped around too, so maybe you can relate. I can't stick to a topic like even though maybe marketing and sales is my strongest professional ability, I didn't want to do a podcast on that because I knew I would do a few episodes, I get bored. I don't want to jump to fitness and then I want to jump to this or that. So it was very hard for me to think of a topic for a podcast. And I wanted to do a podcast because I'm a writer at heart. I like to create. Since I started messing around with videos, I found out that I really love photography, videography, and just doing a podcast seemed like everybody jumped on the bandwagon. I'm kind of late to the party, but I'm like, what's my topic? I don't. I'm happy to talk to anybody about marketing. If they ask me, man, I'll talk about what I know myself all day long. But as far as keeping that going for years, so once I found out I had autism, I'm like, there's my thing. No one can do that because I'm 37. I just found out I had autism. That's why I'll start a podcast. I have one of the most unique perspectives you've ever heard in life. No one can copy me because I actually have autism, right? I actually just found out. I'm some Asian dude sitting here, just found out he has autism, and that's my unique perspective, and let's run with that for the podcast. And so going from there, I don't like wearing shirts. It's uncomfortable. And you know how everyone doing their Zoom meetings, they just roll up in their pajamas. I tried streaming on Twitch last year, and my thing was just like, I don't wear a T-shirt, and I'm not very good at video games, so no one's gonna watch me. So I figured, well, maybe I'll get people to watch me because I'm not wearing a shirt, and then that was just my thing. I'm a practical guy, and so it's like a social statement in the sense that people have advised me, hey Omar, you might get some more viewers if you throw on a shirt. Well, that really triggers me because I spent a lot of years, wearing a suit and tie. My first career was commercial real estate, and then I couldn't really understand like why, if I wore a tie, I'd have a better chance of earning the guy's business. It was just like what I don't get it, man. But I did it, and for many years I begrudgingly put on the suit and the tie, and it was like when I got out of real estate, I donated all my suits to Goodwill, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm never gonna wear a suit again unless it's for like my buddy's wedding. Then I had to go out and buy another suit because I had thrown all mine away to Goodwill. So, but in that respect, it's like I'm not gonna wear a shirt for the audience ever again. Okay, I'll wear a shirt to go inside 7-Eleven because they require it, and I respect people's rules. But as far as yeah,
I came almost prepared. I was like, hey, this guy's come shirtless. I have a tank top right under. I was like, I'm willing to go shirtless with this guy too.
fuck yeah, brother.
So just a little side note. I'm gonna follow you. Yeah, I would have been down.
All right, man. Well, and then today was chilly, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna not wear a shirt. Just like it's just whatever I feel like doing, and it's a little bit chilly in LA, in the Bay Area too. It seems so. And then now it's cool because it's like, wow, I like blend in with the. It's kind of cool. It's I don't know. It's a nice effect right here. Like it's weird. Anyways, it visually.
How did you find out that you were autistic?
Man, I was chatting with someone online and then just kind of maybe sharing a little bit too much about what I thought about things, and then they said, and normally this kind of sounds like an insult. Like you don't just go around calling people autistic because normally if you could, but they were like, hey man, you might be autistic. And then I'm pretty open-minded and willing to listen to criticism, so I was not offended at all because I think they were being serious. So I was like, I Googled, autism characteristics, and I'm like, well, goddamn, I think that I check all the boxes, and then and then my whole life just kind of makes sense now.
Well,
yeah.
You have to be careful though because you're self-diagnosing yourself because
Of course, yeah.
because that's like a hypo type of level. Did you see a professional that tells you like you are autistic?
No, I have not. That would be the smart thing to do, but for me,
Yeah.
it's like one of those it's like one of those things, man. Like if you're depressed, do you really need someone to tell you you're depressed? Because there's some things that some things that and I don't I'm willing to accept whatever it is, right? And then like I've been like on a 10-year kind of long-term trying to self-diagnose myself. One of the reasons that I haven't seen a doctor is A, I don't trust them. I mean, but that's not even the biggest reason. B, I don't have insurance. And C, I just don't have the money to. And back to number one, if I did have the money, I wouldn't fucking give it to someone that I don't trust. So it's a big circle of why I wouldn't. And D, I'm not seeking help. I just want some validation of what I am. And I'm not like I'm very, very against taking any kind of drugs or medication. I have a huge dislike, almost a hatred of Western medicine, the DSM, the whole American philosophy of anyone outside the norm has a problem, a disorder. It just the big rush to just medicate anyone that falls outside of the norm. How the DSM, the disorder list, has grown from like 5 to 5,000 in just the last 20, 30 years is like everything that anybody could do that's not like just like a boring, bland, vanilla person that goes to work, comes home, and repeats is like you need medication. And I'm like, for 10 years I've been a pothead, and so the only medication I'll take is cannabis. But even that, like I quit cold turkey for maybe almost 3 months now, and so for the first time in almost 10 years, I just straight started for different reasons, but I have a little bit bipolar too. After I self-diagnosed myself with and it's the more accurate term would be Asperger's if you're even familiar, but it's more the high functioning side of so that's how come I've been able to just skirt through life without anyone really pointing, because I am high functioning in the sense I made a joke when I first found out. I was like, I'm high functioning not because I smoke weed, but because I'm I have autism. But that's what they call it, though. It's instead of because as I found out, Asperger is named after a guy Hans Asperger from Germany, and he was a Nazi. So they got rid of that term, and they just call it high functioning autism now. Um, but yeah, I haven't smoked weed for
Mhm,
3 months.
mhm.
It's like a self-imposed kind of thing. Like I found out that I'm so productive. Like when you've been smoking weed for so long, you kind of forget who you really are. And so once I stopped smoking, I started getting shit done, started making new projects, started hustling again. And so I made a kind of a self-imposed I'm not going to smoke weed again until I make $1 million. But really, that isn't even the real reason. Is my girlfriend and I are trying to
Yeah,
have a
there you
baby,
go.
and she didn't want me to have weed in my system. So I was like, all right, man, I'll do it for my future kid, so he won't come out retarded or some shit, you know. So I don't know, man. Maybe weed makes your sperm
You be
stronger.
strong swimmer.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, my sperm is so strong. I could, man, but no, man. I'm like, all right, it sounds like a good idea to just be clean, you know, while you're trying to get pregnant. So fuck yeah. And I have the business reason. I actually get so much done that I'm scared to smoke again because I was high for so long. I kind of just forgot that that it robbed me of all my motivation to make money.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, you're right. Back to the Western thing. I think we live in a society, especially in the U.S., where pharmaceutical companies they take over and they're drug pushing. They're having doctors being drug pushers, and you have a problem, they give you a medication. But what I find more is the spiritual realm is kind of like more of a better way, and also the physical and also the health wise, eating well, exercising, all that stuff is really good. And I'm glad you're doing this. So now your swimmers will be strong now. You probably have a
You have any
hopefully.
kids
Are you
yourself,
hoping to
Dave?
be a girl?
Am I what?
No, no.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Uh, in the future, yes. but but yeah, in the near future, yes. That's my thing. Do
Hmm.
you want a girl or boy?
Man, you know, when my girl had initially asked me, I was like, girl, but then she wanted a boy, and she was telling me reasons that I might not want a girl. So, it's and then I'm watching this show Away on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that. But anyways, there's a girl. She's like in high school, and she starts dating this boy, and she starts riding a motorcycle with him, like a dirt bike, and she gets injured. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to deal with that either, the girl, because like I know how guys are. I don't want to be dealing with that kind of shit if with a daughter. So I don't. You know what? I flip a coin. Fuck it, man. I don't really want to think about that too much. But initially, I kind of wanted a
But
girl. I mean,
we're living more as a society.
damn, something
Yeah,
your video got choppy a little bit. Anyway, it should be fine. Sometimes it goes choppy, sometimes it comes back.
yeah. No, it's my connection. I apologize for that. It's just I'm actually at a work site right now
Uh huh.
that has okay internet, but I would at my place it would be better, stronger internet.
That's all good, man. Well, let me get kind of tie this back to you. So you got all this experience, man. It seems like it seems like your marketing company could just, you know, handle your own businesses, right? Maybe it does. Maybe you just have the marketing company to kind of market your own things. Or are you more focused on growing it and bringing in clients?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because every marketing company, believe it or not, they're different. They have their own flair. They have
Yeah,
their own
of course.
their own strengths.
Yeah.
What your strength? Like, how did you get? What did you do that was your specialty? And what made you? And how did you get a lot of clients? How did you gain that traction?
Um, I could possibly be the world's number one SEO specialist. The only reason I don't want to claim the number one title is I'm willing to concede that if there might be someone better, but I don't really think there could be. Like if I say I want to rank for this word, I'll get there. Page one Google number one spot. and it probably would take me 6 to 12 months to get there if I did it full time. If that was my number one goal, if you were like, because I've done it for the term marketing company, like literally, it took me, if you Google, my website doesn't exist anymore because I ran the company fell apart. But I mean, I took screenshots. It's like I got people to vouch for me if anyone wants. Did that really happen? So back in 2017, my company, I named it Fat Boy Marketing Company, and then the domain was fatboyinc.com. And I was like, so I did my part, I can, and I think I'm, of all my skill, writing is my number one professional skill. And so it takes a good writer to achieve good SEO results. And I call myself, a online troll, which I am. And so I just would troll.
I love your
Yeah,
posts.
thank you.
I laugh at all the.
Yeah, I wish I could get paid to troll Facebook, man. Oh man, dude, I would work for minute. If someone was like, bro, here's minimum wage, go troll Facebook. I'll sign a 10-year contract to do that, man. It's the truth, bro. That's like what I enjoy doing. But like one stupid little hack, that I found along the way was, I'll share this now. I was always just willing to give away what I know for free, but especially after I've exited the marketing industry, then like I'm in the process of writing a marketing book, and this started 3 years ago, right? And for 3 years, it's remained just an outline of topics that I wanted to write about, but just one of those passion projects that I probably won't finish it. I'll probably just procrastinate on it for the rest of my life. But if it ever does get finished, my plan now is to just release it for free, where before I was like, do I want to sell this for a $20 ebook, a $1 ebook for generate leads? It never realistically occurred to me to give it away for free. But now, since I don't care to make money off the marketing book, then fuck it. Like, I'm just going to give it all away for free. Fuck it. It's more, it's more valuable to me. Like, if I could, make tens of thousands of dollars and sell it as a $20 ebook, right? Versus having all the other marketers out there hate my guts because I'm giving it away for free. That's what I'm interested in. Like, why would you give it away for free, man? That's why. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's great.
It's awesome. And, believe it or not, and I know you don't, you haven't thought about this, but that's marketing, by the way.
It kind of is.
Yeah, if you think about it, that is marketing right there. So,
and the most ironic thing is that, like, do people have, hey, can I hire? No, I'm not for hire, man. If you pay me some stupid amount of money that doesn't make sense, maybe, but no. I'm like, I only want to market my own projects.
Right.
And this is actually what I found out. Like, I always tend to just like jump into things. Don't think too much about what I'm really doing, right? But the reason I started the marketing company, I don't actually know if I told this to anybody. I'll tell you, man. I got fired from the last job. I was marketing director for this job. I got into an argument with the boss, and then he fired me. So I'm like, well, I'm good at I'll just start my own marketing company. Fuck it, right? And then and I was like, well, what term should I go for? Well, like, you don't know how good you are at SEO until you prove it to yourself. So I was like, well, let's see if I know what I'm doing. Let's go for, like, I gotten page one for stupid little clients before, right? Just shit that, like, it doesn't even, a doctor here, doctor there. Well, I did my job, right? But I'm like, well, all right, what should I go for? Like, I had already achieved SEO company Los Angeles, but then it's like, well, there's like barely anyone even looking at that term. So I'm like, well, let's go for marketing company. And it took me about 6 months to get marketing company page one of Google worldwide. And it was like 450 million URLs for marketing company, right? And then I'm like, that's no small feat. But the problem is, like, what I found was that, like, I don't want to run a marketing company. I don't, like, you can't scale a service based business. I mean, you could, but like imagine, like, okay, man, just imagine training one other person, right? And I think like one person can realistic one account manager could realistically handle maybe 5 clients before you start getting them mixed up and you have all this fucking shit to. So it's like I can't even train one account manager. Like, I'm bringing these people fresh out of, they don't know shit. Like, I could do it if I had a lot of time, but like once you hit page one again, the leads are coming in. I'm just like, I just fucking imploded my own company. I'm just like, fucking couldn't. Yeah.
I would find your solution. I think you should do it again. I think you should come back and resurrect your marketing business, because what you need is in order to create a scalable business, you need A players, and it doesn't seem like you've gotten A players.
Yeah,
So
I haven't, man. I haven't.
what I say is just outsource it for now. Just get some A players that are already in the industry. Maybe hire them on the side. So let's say there's somebody that's already working for a marketing company, and you may ask them, you may approach them and say, hey, you want to earn extra money by working for my company because you are good at what you're doing, and I'll pay you on the side for, out of apart from your full-time business, or full-time work. You can hire them for that, or you can go through like other means of like Upwork or Fiverr or something like that. Find some people that are good at what they're doing, that aspect, and go from there, rather than just getting employees. Because yeah, you have to train them, hire them from the ground up. It's a lot of work. I know it's a lot of work, and for them to kind of match your culture and what you exactly
Mm-hmm.
what you want,
Mm-hmm.
it's harder. But yeah, once you find people who are already in the industry and just hire them, just temporary, just or for short term or per project, I think that'll work for now. And maybe if your company grows to a certain point, they may jump ship from their current company and may jump to you in the future. So I think what you have going on is great, and your SEO and your writing, not many people have that skill. I don't have that skill, so I already want you to boost
Well,
the
I mean,
SEO.
I will help you as much as I can. I mean, like I could, but man, it's like one of those things, man. It's kind of like you could be have the best hands in the world, but just not want to be a surgeon. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's a little bit like that. Like in some ways, I consider myself a very lazy person, and that like sometimes I just don't want to work. But when I find the project that I want to work on, I don't stop working. You know, like when I wanted to be a Twitch streamer last year, it was because I found this game Overwatch. It's a Blizzard game, and I just played it nonstop. And I'd play that game literally, and now I think I realize that it has a lot to do with my autism, but I would play that game, dude. Ask my girlfriend, man. People wouldn't believe me. I play that game 12, 13 hours a day for
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 months on end. Like literally, like I would show you my account. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. I put like 400 hours on that game in a very short period of time, to where, the friends I had met online were just like, they didn't believe. Like, I was like, how do you, it's like these people would work 8 hours a day, and then they would come home and play video games, and they would look at the amount of hours I had. And then this was like 400 hours on one character in the game. There's like 30 characters. I was just so focused on getting better at this one character. And now I realize that's like a kind of a characteristic of autistic people. They're just will focus on one thing and one thing only. And for me, it was that character, that game. But so I was a streamer, and then it was like, and my girlfriend really was just like, I don't know, she's great. She kind of has kind of let me run with certain things, but looking back on it, I'm like, I don't know how I spent that much time on a game I wasn't even that good at. Okay.
Do you think you have instant gratification? Do you think you have that's your thing?
Yeah, I
Like
mean that.
you're addicted to instant gratification.
I mean that's a big. I don't know if a lot of autistic, but quite a few autistic people kind of have that problem too. And I don't know if it's just. I think like a lot of normal people have that issue too. So
Yeah.
it's not just an autistic thing, and it is something I've identified that I have to work on. I use Asana as my project management app to try to make sure I just knock out things that need to be knocked out. But I think yeah, you have identified a big core weakness of mine, of course.
I saw your other podcast before, and I think you mentioned this, or maybe something else, because I watched yours, and I read and write and listen to a lot of stuff. And one thing is the shiny object syndrome. Have you heard of that, or did you talk about that? I think you did with
I
one of
don't.
your other.
Yeah, I don't know if it rings a bell. I don't know if I mentioned that. If you heard it, it wasn't me mentioning it though.
It happens with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business people, is they have the shiny object syndrome, and they kind of goes in line with the instant gratification
Mm-hmm.
part. So I think it's common with people who are in business, and it's not necessarily a debilitating effect with their functionality. It's, we always try to find that we don't like to do, and we don't want to do it. There are some parts of the business we don't like to do, and we just want to search for other new things that we like to do. So we start creating businesses. It's a crazy syndrome, but it happens a lot. And I had that in the beginning, but I learned how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of strategies did you use?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm giving you my creamy secret type of stuff. So just to let you know, I paid like almost $50,000 in total in all these business seminars, research,
Mm-hmm.
conferences, and stuff. And what I've discovered is that we need to find what our passion is, why we're in the business, why we're doing this for. We need to find what our end goal is. Like what's the purpose of getting into this? And after that, I started building systems, and that is why I built systems where I'm able to run my multiple businesses without really running it, like as in like without really being inside the business. So there's other people running the business where I occasionally check up on them once a week,
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, how's the business? What's the stuff that
Mm-hmm.
needs to be improved on?" And I
Mm-hmm.
move on to business.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm able to have multiple business, and that's how I'm able to be more focused. I'm going to compartmentalize my mind about certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and I do businesses that I like to do. But I think that's might be your other key thing. Are there parts of the business that you don't like to do in that business that employ?
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. I didn't hear
Sorry,
anything
yeah,
after you just do the businesses that you like to do, and then you started breaking up.
yeah. And then I was asking you, we don't like to do the things that what we don't like to do.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that you do in the business. What things that in your business that you don't like to do?
Yeah, just about everything, man. I'm fucking lazy, bro. I literally, I literally just want to smoke weed and go surfing.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. Hey,
I'm lazy. I just
no.
don't want to work, bro.
No. You could do all that.
Yeah.
You could do all that. You just need to find people
Yeah.
to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you just need
mean,
to find certain people. I think I told. Yeah.
what do you not like to do? No, all of it, man. It's just everything, everything. What? It's all work, man. At some point, like my jobs for the last 10 years have been like minimum busboy because people are like, dude, you could go be making 100K, do it, and I'm just like, it all feels the same to me, man. Like, my last job was working at a warehouse and lifting boxes. And I don't think people understand. Like, I actually like warehouse work better than anything else I could do. It's kind of like working out. It just like, I can just zone out. Everything else I have to deal with some shitty fucking manager who I could do his job better than him telling me what to do. Um,
Right.
yeah, your video just dropped out.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna use my data.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. I think my data is a little bit stronger.
All right.
All right. You see me?
Not yet. We'll give it a second. But we can just talk.
All right.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Here, back. All right. I'm using my data,
All
so
right.
it's stronger than the Wi-Fi.
All
Okay.
right. So what were we talking about? Like,
Uh, how you're being lazy? Do you know what? I'm
yeah.
actually the most lazy guy. You
Man,
don't know, but
I don't know, man. I don't know. I could challenge you on that one. We'll see about that.
here's a quote that I learned from. I think it was Bill Gates. I think it was Bill Gates. He said that, or Warren Buffett. It's one of those guys. They say that, to learn from the laziest employee, because because you're going to be able to find an efficient way to work things out. So that's a key thing. You gotta work smart. Not well. You work hard, but
Well,
work smart.
let me tell you, share a personal story. Is my first business failed actually because I did too good of a job. This was before my marketing company. I had a leasing company in Los Angeles, and I started it back in 2009 when residential leasing was unheard of because uh, until the real estate meltdown of the late 2000s, um, real estate owners didn't have a problem renting out their properties, and then I was a commercial real estate broker, blah blah blah, and then owners started having vacancies, and I helped some owners rent out their properties so I could sell them, and then I was like, well, maybe I could turn this into business. One thing led to another. I just started making money renting properties out, and then I had like 10 or 15 employees, full part time, and then um, and I was the laziest person in the world still then, and I was so good at replacing. I found out early on that I felt like the key characteristic of a good founder is to completely remove himself from the company, which I did, but I did too good of a job, so they like stole all the clients, and then like I was left with nothing. I was like, well, I did too good of a job, and that like they don't need me for anything. But they didn't realize I was doing the marketing, and then so they ran their own shit into the ground a year later because they couldn't get new clients. But that's a story for a different day. So no, I agree with you completely on that. Like I am the laziest employee, and I'm a very efficient guy. I will automate things that people haven't even thought of automating. Like anything that can be automated, I'll automate it. Yeah, with the existing tools that I have. So yeah, in that sense, I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, Dave. I'm doing the posture thing because it actually is a passion project. So that I've completely just stopped caring about money, and that like I'll just do what I need to do to pay the bills, and so the girlfriend doesn't kick me out of the apartment also, so just cover my share of the rent. But anything else I do is because I want to do it, and nothing is going to be money motivated for me anymore. Like I think there's so many things one could do to make money that like you got to do something that you care about or that's fun for you.
That's why I like when you talk about posture. I have the worst posture, for multiple reasons, and my mom always preached to me. She's like, you have the worst posture. She goes, she's like, sit sit straight like that stuff. But in reality, it's actually more of that. It's you got to exercise, you got to work out certain parts of your body. It's just a lot of the stuff that I learned over the past, and I know you're an expert in this. So it's beautiful that you've talked about this, because a lot of people actually have poor postures, and and and
Let me give you my take on what you said. A lot of people. I will stick to this comment right here. This is the thesis
okay.
for Posture Camp. Okay. Um, you said a lot of people have bad posture. I'll go as far to say, and I'll stick with this until you prove me wrong. Everybody has bad posture. Literally everybody has bad posture, and even me. It's a daily conscious activity. I'm sitting down and I'll slouch, and I have to
Yeah.
constantly remind myself to sit up. Even though I'm the guy founded Posture Camp, dude, it's like if I take my mind off it, I'm gonna slouch because we're fighting gravity. Everybody has bad posture, man.
it's
Yeah.
it's funny because we are in the sport of sitting. You know how like everybody is like, in certain, but people don't realize most of us are in the sport of sitting and sitting.
Yep, yep, yep. Man, that's like the most important thing you could say because, um, yeah, I'm gonna, if I can steal that, I'm gonna write that down. We are in the, because I hadn't put in those terms, man. That's a really good way to put
I
it.
actually stole it somewhere else, but you can use it.
But check this out, Dave. I actually just had the epiphany this week. Like I'm a marketing guy, right? So and um and so do starting a business about fixing people's posture. On the one hand, I can say that I'm solving a problem that everyone has. Okay, great, right? But uh, it's going to be hard as hell to market this because no one even knows they have bad posture. So the awareness campaign is going to be ridiculously hard. And what's sexy, right? Six packs and big booties are sexy, and that's what people buy. And no one is really buying posture, even though that's what they should be buying. So focusing on posture on the one hand is like a retarded idea if you're trying to make money. Um, if you
Hey,
want to, yeah, if you want to sell big muscles and six packs and big booties, you're gonna make a lot of money. But that really goes against my values in terms of what I think people need. Um,
why do you think people should have good posture? What are the values of what are the benefits? What are the values that people are getting
I mean,
from?
I could tell you, I could either tell you real quick or take a long time telling you. I mean, I could walk outside, and this is one of the marketing challenge, right? I could just walk outside, and I'm in Monterey Park. There's a lot of Asian people here, a lot of old Asian people. So it's right now, what is it? It's 7:45 p.m. If you had called me at 3 p.m., I'd walk outside, I'd point the camera and be like, because you don't want to look like that old guy over there. And the thing is, I can't actually do that because that's like what makes someone else feel shitty and be shaming other people to prove my point, right?
Right.
Like maybe I would take a picture of Quasimodo, right, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and say, well, would you like to look like him in 20 or 30 years? Maybe you don't care, man. You know?
Mhm.
So number one is so you don't look like that. Number one is so you don't, because if we just continue to sit in our chairs with gamer posture, and the technical term is forward head posture, if you don't actively correct that and work on the muscles and stretch and actively consciously try to sit up straight, that is your future. So that's part of the marketing challenge is maybe using graphics and animations to show this instead of using people that actually look like that, because I have to be very cognizant not to shame real people in trying to prove my point.
Well, what
Um,
about the psychological approach on this?
there's a lot of approaches. Like uh, your confidence will go up. Like literally when you stand with your chest out.
I was thinking.
Okay, yeah. A male will feel more confident. A female will feel more confident. You'll look more confident. You'll get more girls like that just because, and people will literally treat you different. There's a lot of ways to hit this, right? The confidence is huge,
Yep.
and here's the thing, man. Like I actually made. I'll send you the video link. I actually made a kind of a funny video. I don't send this out very often, because but I literally titled the video like how to make your boobs look bigger, like for girls. Like it sounds funny, man, but it's true.
Yeah.
Insecurity of most females is like their boobs, and it's because like we like them, guys like them, look at them, we talk about them. Part of American culture has made females just very insecure about their bodies. That's why everyone goes to the surgeon to get boob jobs, right? And so what I've seen is like a lot of girls get insecure about their boobs, and they actually like start hunching over and to hide them, which makes them look smaller,
Hmm.
right? So like, I mean, I don't because I'm autistic, right? So that like reading body language never came natural to me. It's kind of like a characteristic of autistic people that they can't read facial expressions, they can't
Okay.
read body language. Now, since my first career was in sales, like I didn't know I was autistic before, but like I was literally retarded in terms of being able to read. So, but um, I'm like a competitor. I'm competitive. So if I suck at something, like I'm just gonna try to get better at it. So whatever, man. I read all these body language books, so it's like something that a lot of people internalize this. I don't know how normal people think because I only know how my brain works. So for me, it's more of a cognitive ability to where because I'm passionate about poker. That's one of my hobbies. So poker was another reason that made me want to read these body language books. So it's like I'm aware of it, but I can also be very ignorant if I'm not hyper focused on it. That being
Okay.
said, about the females, right? So sometimes I can look at someone and know exactly what they're insecure about by what they're trying to hide, right? So you see a girl that's like hunched over, right? It's like, okay, she's hiding her boobs, and maybe she's got like A cups or B cups, but they look like no cups when you're going like this, right? Like a very confident girl standing with her chest out, it actually looks pretty good. Like
And it looks
yeah, like a girl with B cups, like that's all right. That I think, that's good. All
it's
right.
called a woman pose. She does a Wonder Woman pose.
Yeah.
Is proud of her womanly figures and everything, and it looks more attractive. Who
Yeah.
doesn't want to fuck Wonder
Yeah,
Woman?
yeah, and it looks good. It actually looks good. Just and by being insecure, it's actually that part that reduces the attractiveness and actually makes the boobs look like they don't exist. So it's like, okay, A, I know what your insecurity is. B, it's like you're being counterproductive. So that in itself is a reason to stand with good posture. All of a sudden, your no cups look like maybe C cups because you're standing the right way, and it feels weird. It really does. And the reason I even started this whole posture camp wasn't because I thought it was a good idea. The good idea came afterwards. What came before was that I had bad posture the vast majority of my life. I'm 37, Dave.
We're the same age, by the way. Are you
Wow.
pig too?
I am. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up, man? 1983.
That's what's up.
What's up?
Aren't we the golden pigs? No, we're not golden pigs. We're like some metal pigs or some shit.
I was born in April, but I don't think that matters. I think it's just what year you were born, right?
All right.
But so you're talking about what are the there's physical reasons,
Sure.
right? You don't want to end up looking like that, right? There's psychological reasons, your confidence, and not just psychological. You might not notice this, but people will treat you differently. If you look like an unconfident pussy loser, that's how people will treat you. If you stick your chest out and just look like a confident jock, people will kind of like, oh man, that guy might kick my ass, even if you're skinny or whatever, right?
Right.
Like if a big dude walks with bad posture and no confidence, that big dude's gonna get picked on by smaller
Right.
dudes, you know. So confidence in itself, there's a lot of selling points, right? So it's like a lot of things.
Because you're like, hey, your question before was, oh, how can I hit in the marketing realm? This is it. You just named a lot of key things right there.
Yeah, man, it's yeah, I don't know, man. It's I mean, not that I don't know, it's just I'm not trying to go big, go fast. The cool thing is like I failed a couple businesses in my past, so this time around I want to do everything the right way. And so I building my team the right way. You know, the first thing I did was just like pretty much gave a lot of my company away in terms of equity to get the right people on the team. Before we even take a dollar, I want to make sure we're ready to go. And make sure everyone's in the right role. Like I just want to stay in my lane, which is creative and marketing. And as far as running the business, I've found that that's my weakness, is actually managing people.
You know, this is kind of crazy. Okay, this sounds kind of frou-frou right now, but I feel like you have a very innocent soul. That's what.
I do, man. I really do. I've started life as a very naive person, and the business that got stolen from me was I just hired friends and friends of friends, fraternity bros, and I left real estate after that. Not because I didn't think I could restart the business or because I couldn't make money in real estate. It was like so easy for me to start a business and spot an opportunity and make money, but I was like heartbroken. Like they like shattered my like I was like I'm pretty like shrewd businessman in a way, and I can like I have vision to see opportunities and plant it, but like literally that was like Julius Caesar getting stabbed in the back. Like, dude, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your soul, I can still see it. And although you've been like, I guess you've been jaded in a lot of sense, but I feel like you still have a lot of pure soul. You still
Yeah,
have
well,
that.
thanks for recognizing that, man. Because I do give off a real like cocky mean guy attitude, and
No, no, you
yeah,
don't.
I mean
No.
I don't.
When I first met you, I'm like, dude, this guy's hella funny, and he's bold, and he's all about YOLO. I'm like, this is the guy that I really want to talk to
Well, thanks,
because
man. That means a
yeah,
lot.
it's very fun. So I was like, hey, let's talk to this guy.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. Like online, I think I'm more able to be myself. I am a 100% introvert. I now I know I have autism, but like when I go out, I don't say much. I can just look like an asshole. People can kind of misunderstand how I
sure.
behave and the reasons that I do things. And so I mean, I'm very self-aware these days. I kind of try to consider how my behavior and how it's interpreted, but yeah, I still make mistakes, and that a lot of it is due to the autism. Is
Right.
like I, it's really weird, man, because as I understand this condition, autism, right, and in some ways, like I just found out, and I'm a noob. In other ways, I'm an expert because I've had this condition my whole life, so I see it from two different ways. And so what I've been learning is that people with autism generally, from observations, people think that they have no emotional awareness. But for I think a lot of us, it's actually they have so much emotional awareness, but it gets shut down at a young age because they're so sensitive that they have two ways to go. And mostly it's like when you're very sensitive, you end up shutting it off because you know like like I could seem like an asshole at times. Like I don't care about things, but I think it's because like I can care so much about all the world's problems, then I can't solve any of them. So I kind of just give up and go play video games, kind of
Let,
mentality,
let,
you know?
let me ask you this: you, if you're being an asshole, whatever you are currently, whatever you are, you've been acting. So what?
Yeah, no, I got kind of they kind of
You
have
know,
to be that way. Like that's kind of why I just like recently I kind of adopted that whatever, man. Like kind of like this podcast, I could think for whatever and make it perfect, but then it never gets done. So that's why I just went with the just hit record, the one cut and upload it. And I kind of someone said something to me. I don't think it was the Asian Hustle Network. I think it was a smaller form called Subtle Asian YouTubers and Influencers. There's only like 1,000 members, and I forgot what the question was. I think I was asking. No, it might have been Badass Asian Dudes, another small. Yeah, it was another small little group of good guys, and there's only like 1,000 members. But I think I this was when I was trying to quit my warehouse job, and um, I wasn't really even asking for advice. I was just kind of like cry for attention. Like already knew I was gonna quit. I was just kind of like being a troll and be like, should I do this, guys? Like, what the fuck? I couldn't take it anymore. And this one guy, he said the most meaningful thing to me that I remember from Facebook in the last couple months. He goes, and at first I thought he was trolling, but then I was like, dude, that's like some Bruce Lee comment right there. He was like, hey man, if you knew, he said, I'm paraphrasing because I forget the exact literal way he said it, but he said, if you knew you were gonna die soon, would that change your answer? And I'm like, yes, I'm quitting for sure after that. Like it really kind of changes your mindset, right? Like if you suddenly found out you had terminal cancer, you had a year to live, how does that
right?
how does that change the answers or the questions that you're asking yourself, the answers to those questions? Like then, my question of, hey, should I quit this job? Blah blah blah. Well, I'm gonna die next year. Fuck, I'm quitting. Fuck that. I'm quitting for sure. It becomes all of a sudden things become much clearer when you think in terms of that. But like, yeah, you should plan. Like, I might have a kid, I might get married. I'm not just gonna be fucking shooting heroin in my arm because I always wanted to try heroin. Like, if I was actually gonna die in a week, I'm like, well, fuck it. Now's the time to try heroin. You know what I'm saying? But no, so I'm not actually going to like fucking jump out of a plane without a parachute. But I am some decisions that seem hard become much easier when you think about like you just got to start living life.
Yeah. Do you actually me and you actually have a lot in common. The more
Mhm.
we talk about this, a lot of things. We're talking about how we are as a person, how people would accept us. Someone told me this, and they're from the energy realm, and they kind of like looked at me on this, and they say that one they say that a lot of people when they first meet me, they misjudge me, but once they get to know me, they'll see me in a different light. They say something about my energy block that talks about this. So it's more of
Mhm.
another higher realm stuff.
Mhm.
And another thing is I have a YouTube show actually. It's called Double Shot with Dave. It's kind of like hot ones, but instead of eating hot spices, we're drinking. So we're taking shots. So towards the end of the interview, People get drunk.
Hey man, I want to come on your show. I want.
Yeah,
I
yeah. One day.
I'm not allowed to drink alcohol yet because I'm trying to make this bait, dude. Do you know understand how hard life is when you're not allowed to smoke weed and you're not allowed to drink alcohol anymore?
Wait, wait,
Man.
wait, wait. Hold on, hold on. No, okay. So do you know, because I think girls, they have a window of when they're able to have baby. Did she see a doctor, or any?
Well, I'm 37 and she's like a year and a half older than me, so she kind of like getting close to like this is it, it's now or never kind of deal. So
Right.
yeah, so it's like dude, she stuck with me for 7 years, man. It's like I already knew I was gonna marry her from like day one, literally, like just so
Oh,
yeah. So for me, like man, just getting here, it was like it's kind of incredible because with my last job, with the warehouse job, I don't know how I was able to like say, well, it's because I give her my entire paycheck, but otherwise I would have spent it on weed. But we
good.
were able to save up from my share and almost have the ring completely paid off. So it's not like a big surprise it's coming, but it took me 7 years to like even get like from year one I've probably would have proposed at any of those years, right? But I've been having just shit minimum wage jobs, and so finally this year some things have come together, have been able to just take care of some life events. Looks like marriage
It,
is an actual possibility when you got the ring paid off. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to get some like cracker box ring that she didn't even want.
it's crazy. It's. I commend her to stick with you
Me
through all these.
too. I'm like, who
Yeah.
the fuck would stick with me, man? Like she's beautiful. She could get any guy she wants. Why would you stick with like little warehouse boy over here? I don't know, bro.
Well, the thing is, because she's 30 something, that's when girls are like, "Oh God, my eggs are like almost gone,"
Yeah.
and it's the thing is, girls, they don't understand that men, they feel, in order for them to get settled down, they would have to feel financial stable, in order to settle down. Most girls, they don't get this. It's not in their head.
Mm,
Like, why can't a guy just marry me or just get with me? But they don't
yeah.
understand that, hey, he needs to have his nest all together and put together and all that stuff. And that's something that yeah, even girls to this day, they don't know that. They think differently.
Yeah, I mean, I commend her on a couple different points. The fact that, like, dude, the people now it's like our relationship has gotten a lot better because, like, well, fuck, man, if I don't have autism, like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I've explored. Look, man, this might sound funny to you. It still sounds funny to me, but this is the truth. 10 years ago was when well, this was like when these employees, my friends, stole my company from me. I literally moved in my office, slept under my office desk, trying to keep the company going for a couple months. And in that time, I was able to, I found my inner troll because I had no business to run. So I just spent all day trolling on spiritual personality forums. Like, well, what the fuck is wrong with me, man? And then I found personality. So that's kind of like just like a side thing that I know some shit about because I just read a bunch about personality and psychology and spirituality. And in this process, started trying to self-diagnose myself. Well, maybe I have depression. Maybe I have bipolar. Maybe I'm. And then I was like, then I went into like some dark places. Then I was like, fuck, I think I'm a narcissist. Well, fuck, I think I'm a psychopath. And then like I almost started crying. I'm like, oh man, I'm a psychopath. Like I went through. Well, it sounds funny. I went through 2 or 3 days, like, because like I looked at the characteristics of a psychopath, and I'm like, click, overconfident, like thinks he's God. I'm like, doesn't think he's ever wrong. I'm like, that's me. Has really charming personality. Oh, I think that's. I'm like, God damn it, I'm a
Hang
psychopath.
up yourself as a hypochondriac. I think that's it.
It's
And
no, I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm
well,
very
well,
not.
well,
I'm
well,
not.
here's the thing, because most, and it tends to happen to this. This is from my brother-in-law. He's a doctor, and this is what he tells me. He says that most hypochondriacs, they're actually really, they're usually very intelligent guys, young men, and you're it. You're very intelligent. You
Well,
kind of
I,
have
I would
that.
even be open to that. Okay, I would be open to that. But here's the thing: I don't read something and think that I have it. I'm like the devil's advocate, and that's why I talk myself. And then because I would explore the condition very deeply, And then and there's two key factors about the narcissist and the psychopath. Like I may share like 9 out of the 10 things, but the one thing that I don't share is kind of the differentiating factors. Like, well, a for the psychopath, like if you're like sad that you might be a psychopath, that's automatically disqualification, because a psychopath, he wouldn't believe it, and even if he did come to terms, he wouldn't give a shit. He would just keep fucking crushing people and killing people or whatever. So then I'm like, all right, well, I actually like care about humanity in a way, and and I don't actually, and I actually place people above things, so I don't think I'm a psychopath. And then recently, now here's the kicker, right? I was really debating on whether I had autism or not, because like I'm not a hypochondriac, because I actually am very like I want to know. I don't like I really I'm about the truth, okay? If I am this, fine. If I'm not, fine, if you have a doctor, I will go and figure this shit out once and for all, okay? But here's the thing, like psychiatrists, I won't see, because psychiatrists have gone to school to find problems in you. So I will never go to a psychologist, psychotherapist, 100%. Okay.
Right.
But psychiatry, I'm not sorry to say this. I don't think a psychiatrist would watch my show anyways, but I don't believe in their shit at all. At all. I think they just like, why would you ever become a psychiatrist? Like, I don't fully understand the profession, but they're good at figuring out which pill that you need. And I don't believe it pills at all. So why would I even go down that path? And autism is this thing that it wasn't even really well understood until the late 90s, and so you haven't even had time for people to even specialize in this condition to be able to I'm actually in a better position to diagnose autism than any of the doctors. I'm not, and then I don't want to knock a psychologist, but there's third party, right? And then there's the subjective experience, right? Like if someone's depressed, how can you tell the difference between someone pretending to be depressed and someone actually depressed? There's
You brought the word subjective. That's key right there. Yep.
So someone can display all the symptoms, and you could still be like, well, there's you have to be willing to say this person checks all the boxes, but there's a possibility he's lying and he fooled the examiner. Okay?
And
it happens, right? So people, and I was just watching this TED Talk. I didn't finish it because I have attention issues, but I watched enough of it to get to the point of the TED Talk. Is this guy in prison pretended to be a psychopath to get out of his prison, to get out of that prison, right? But he ended up getting put into an insane asylum, and he can't get out of the insane asylum once he got in there, and he ended up being in the insane asylum far longer than his original 5-year sentence. Okay, and then the day he got into the insane asylum, the day he got there and saw all the other crazy fools, he was like, "I'm not a psychopath. I promise. I was just faking it." And they're like, "You're a psychopath because you said that." And then and I didn't finish the TED Talk, but I'm gonna go back to it later. I bookmarked it, but that's an interesting one to watch if you're interested in psychology at all.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Well, shit, Dave, I actually have another episode. Like, they started at 8 p.m. I was just like, dude, the time ran away from us, man. I don't even know how that happens. Sometimes I'm like, how do we even fill an hour's worth of time, man? I think when you're having a good time, like literally time flies.
Right.
All right. Wait, let's pick this up. Like, I'm happy to just talk to you off not recording one day. I'm even, I wanted to offer you earlier, a, just a free, virtual posture session. I can't cure things. That's why we have to do posture camp. That's why posture camp has to have some kind of one-on-one. I was thinking of like a lead generation thing to local physical therapists, because you can't fix posture until you go one-on-one to a massage/physical therapist, chiro. So that's actually in my, like, I can market this thing 100%, but until I produce a solution for you or for someone watching from China or something, it's like, it's not a business in my head unless I can achieve my vision, which is to fix everyone's posture. So I'm not just here to try to grow a big Instagram account. I think I can do that. I actually want to fix people's posture, and if I can make some money along the way, great. But it's like, unless I can refer you to a good physical therapist that lives in your city, then what I'm doing is kind of a moot point. right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm willing to give you like a 20-minute, like I can literally, take you from where you are to much better. But to fix some of the things going on, you're going to have to go to a physical therapist. And by the way, most insurance covers physical therapy. You could just go to a physical therapist, skip me, and just check and see if your insurance covers it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, like what? I should just make a video about that. Your insurance probably can fix your posture, and I'm willing to do that because like my end goal is just to fix people's posture. I don't care if I don't get $1. I mean, I kind of my partners might care, but like I'm just whatever. Give it all away for free and see what happens. Is my new philosophy.
that's good. Yeah, I like that. Especially your book thing. Just give it out. Who cares?
I'm gonna
Fuck.
do it, bro. But no, let's get on and talk again. It could be on or off camera. Really enjoyed talking to you. I think we would be great friends, whether it's virtual or we meet in person someday, man. Like this has been great.
I mean, I go down SoCal almost all the time. I
Oh,
was actually Hollywood. I have big family in SoCal, so it works.
oh
Yeah.
man, you better look me up, man. You definitely. Next time you're in LA, look me up, and we'll definitely hang out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. You want to leave the audience with anything?
Well, what audience? I want to tell everybody that just live your life. Live your life to your own terms. That's what I would say.
All right. Dave's gonna leave the audience with live your life on your own terms. I would agree with that. All right. Dave, thanks for coming on the show. Send me any links that you want to leave. I'll put it in the description. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, brother. I'm gonna